Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Live Coding and Chill. It's Friday, the week is over, or maybe it's starting if you think the weekend is the best part of the week. In any case, I'm very happy that you're choosing to spend some time with me coding together, or maybe watching me code, or maybe you're coding even more than I am. Maybe you have like 3 monitors set up, you're working on 5 different projects. Who knows? The point I'm trying to make is that we're gonna have a great time today. We're gonna be working on getting our email flow to work even more with Supabase and Resend. Resend I've never used before, so it's gonna be exciting whether we're gonna make it work or not. But it's an SMTP service. It's a way to get your emails to your customers. Supabase is the kinda all-in-one solution when it comes to database and storage and all of that. And they used to have a kinda generous free tier for your emails. So being an authentication solution, Supabase does have stuff like email login and magic link email login, email and password login and all of that, which we have done in previous episodes. So this site is live. You can see we're logged in, we can log out, and we can log in again with a provider. Login with GitHub is the one we went to, but we can add more in the future, like login with Google, it's a classic, login with Apple, another classic, and some websites just do the provider login because then you don't need to worry about emails. But another classic is an email and password authentication flow. You can log in with your own email and password if you're like, I don't want to give my Google details to yet another site and I don't want a third party and all of that. Or you can log in with Magic Link, which is pretty much the email and password solution, but because people are terrible at passwords and they're gonna reset their passwords anyway, you just skip the step of where we pretend that you're gonna have a secure password that you're not gonna forget, and we just log you in with a Magic Link. Again, it's email based, and what used to happen with Supabase is that it would send emails out and give you a generous quota to work with. But now you're limited to only 4 emails per hour, which is kind of fine, barely workable for development purposes. But if you go live with this, then you're going to be blocked. People are going to be trying to log in, and more than 4 people per hour will be trying to log in, or they'll need a few attempts to make it happen. So they're going to get an error that your quota has been exceeded, or whatever you choose to do. So in the UI, the reality is they're going to be upset, and the reason is going to be that you didn't set up your email SMTP, your own email service. Again, Supabase all along was saying that their solution is not a production solution. You shouldn't ship with this to production. It's just something to make development happier. They're working very hard on the development experience, so they wanted that to be included. You not having to worry about setting your own email solution. But now, yes, because some people took advantage of it way too much and did ship to production with the Supabase solution, the quota is very, very low. So we're kind of forced to switch to set up an SMTP server for us, an email server for us. And what I'm going to be going with today is Resend. Mostly because it has a cool website. It says it's for developers. I guess Mailgun has the same pitch as well. But SendGrid is another one. Amazon SCS, Simple Email Service, is another one we could be using. But I like trying new things, and they seem to have seamless Supabase integration. So we'll see how seamless it is and how much time are we going to spend setting things up. Because you never know, like they have the docs, they have the YouTube videos. How does it happen in real life? I've never tried this before. Maybe that's your case. Some days you go to work and the story that you need to go through, the ticket that you need to accomplish is work with this third party that you've never seen before, make it happen. So how realistic is it if you were to hear today, Johnny or whoever is in the chat, you need to work with a third-party SMTP service. We've chosen Resend, like the principal software engineer said that this is the best one. We have a deal with them, make it happen. How easy would it be? And yeah, definitely the Rubik's Cube is a cool add here. You can't actually play to solve, you can just twist it around. And of course, it's always solved because it doesn't have different colors Anyway, that's not the important thing. So if you have managed to create an account, so if you have gone live or in localhost where we are here, let's log out localhost as well. Of course, we are able to log in with email and password because there are no emails involved, but magic-click login will eventually be blocked because we'll be over the Supabase quota. So let's bring in Resend and get that sorted. And also, you need an emailing solution anyway, not just for logging people in. Even if you chose to go with the provider solution, even if you only provide Apple, GitHub, Google, and that's it, and you don't have a login with Magiclink or email and password option, you'll still need to email your customers at some point. You'll need to tell them you bought this product, you didn't buy this product, this is a digest, this is like an upselling funnel. You'll need an email solution. So we're going to evaluate how recent is as an emailing solution as well. So we've talked about this. Let me know in the chat if you want me to cover something else. We'll just bite the bullet and set things up with Resend, which does offer a workable free tier. We may need to go into the pro tier at some point, but 100 emails a day feels like you can go live with that, I'd say. And the other things that they provide for the pro plan, I think we can manage with, but definitely better than 4 emails per hour. So let's get started. We need to create an account and we can sign up with GitHub. Let's authorize. Team name. Semagripis or Johnify, either one would do. So we can add an API key, we can send an email, doesn't really matter. What we may want to do is validate our domain. So another thing that takes a bit of work to set up with Supabase and is actually an added feature is getting your emails to be sent from your domain, because it hits different when an email is sent from the service you signed up for, so Johnify.com, than from a third party. It may increase your chances for landing into the user's inbox as well, but most of all, it just looks more professional. Supabase does have an upsell about having the whole flow go through your domain. So now when we get data for the website, we actually hit the Supabase API, the instance that is just for us, that has a weird address that has something like abcd.supabase.com or .app, one of those. Anyway, it's not johnify.com. But if you use your own domain, you can actually talk to the Supabase server under your own domain, which may look more official if the user is going through the GitHub flow even. So let's try to do that for live. If we log in with GitHub, if we were keeping track of the redirects, it's maybe too late to do now. Let's try it again, because that's probably fun to show. If we log in with GitHub, we do a few redirects, we do a bit of dance to end up back to johnify.com. But one of the places we do go to is this unreadable thing, .supabase.co, because that's the API for the Supabase instance we are running. This could also be johnify.com if we set things up with custom domains with Supabase, which is an upsell feature. That's kind of cool. I'll probably be playing with that in the future. But for now, the immediate want is to make the emails work and make those happen from my domain. So let's add a domain here. The domain is this. And I guess Sao Paulo would be interesting for another project that I have cooking. But Ireland, the classic EU West one, is paid only. Oh well. So let's do the US one. Have users in the US for sure. And now we need to add some DNS records. And these are with my domain register, wherever I register this domain, which is Vercel. Like that's how Vercel gets here. Maybe I'm on the free tier for all the apps that I have deployed, but I've also bought quite a few domains from them, and that's how they make their money. So we have zonify.com here, and we can go to the DNS records and add whatever these guys want me to. So we want a send record. With this value, MX priority 10 seems to be like the defaults. Can add comments on your records. Max priority. It has a placeholder for 10, but doesn't actually add 10 for you. That's kind of interesting. All right, we've added this one. We need a text record for the same subdomain, I guess. And this exposes that Resend actually uses Amazon simple email service behind the scenes, which is quite fun. There is definitely a lot of money to be had into making wrapping like an AWS service into something more usable, because AWS UI and usability is, UX is quite bad. So if you have a nice product that has a nice cool Rubik's Cube, then you can definitely upsell people or sell to people that they're gonna have a better DevX if they go through that than through AWS directly. But maybe we'll do an episode with AWS SCS if you want that, let me know. Anyway, we're adding this. And our final one, final text record for this auto. It's the real thing. Email. Yeah, I don't know what auto should be, but time to live 60, sure. I think they only check this once, so you don't really need it for full time. So we've added this. I don't want to track clicks because I'm not creepy. I respect my users, so I don't put in the transparent pixel. I won't put in the going through the Resend. Like if I send you an email, it's gonna be something you want to read. If you click it, that's fine. Analytics are good, but don't be creepy with your analytics. Verify our records. It may take minutes or hours. I don't think it's going to take that long because there should be like nothing on those domains. But hey. In any case, that's done. Can keep that open somewhere. But apparently, if we go to settings, integrations, we can connect to Supabase, which is what we really want. And Resend, let's authorize the same Agripis organization. See the loading spinner, always promising. Select a project, we want Zonify. An app key. And I guess surname. What would we do? It's not Johnny. Should I have brainstormed this before? Johnnyfy bot.
team at Johnify. Is that what happens? Usually it's like info at Johnify. It's definitely not me at Johnify. If that's the default, then let's keep it at that. Modern, should the name be my name, like Johnny Magripis, and it should be me at johnify.com. But usually it's not going to be me, so let's do that and hope we can change it if we change our minds. Roll with the punches. Enable custom SMTP, that's a sender email, that's a name. I guess this is already configured. So, is it done? Did we do it? Let's now read the docs and see if there was anything different we should be doing. So yeah, here it seems like this wasn't toggled, but this was probably toggled for us. So what we can do is open one of my many emails. Maybe this one. And try to create an account once again. And it looks like we may not need a code deployment for this. So let's sign up. Let's create a new account. And the email is going to be me. Sorry. And what's the password going to be? Or actually, let's do the magic link login. Also, note the new feature I did offline where we do keep the state, we do keep this email, so you don't have to fill it twice if you change your mind. So let's try to log in with magic link. It says, please check your email. And I'm gonna be checking my email and we'll see what's gonna happen. Guess the problem may be that maybe my domain is not verified anymore. The big shame would be if there was like a spam problem. Yeah, this is pending, so that could be the problem that we have here. We may be limited from authorizing the domain because I don't think we can do anything else. Allow signups, no CAPTCHA. So these look like the values we saw from Resend, so it should just work with no code deployment. But I do imagine the problem is that this needs to be verified, which it is now. Okay. So should we try again? Let's look at our users. Maybe in authentication, users, Johnify tech. Here you go. Send magic link. Try again. We got it. So yeah, it looks like we should have waited for the domains to be verified. And the email is from my custom domain. Cool. I wonder if you can change that. As I said before. But we can click to confirm our email, and now we're logged in. We're logged in as the Johnify Tech user, and life's good. So question, how do I change my email templates? So we've sent this email. I wonder, can we see like a preview of this? Yeah, we can see HTML or plain text or whatever. Cool, doesn't look great. This one didn't work because the domain is not verified, so we could have debugged this the easy way. So this is trying to happen. And it's interesting to see that Supabase, maybe they have some log somewhere that have said the same, but it doesn't retry, which I guess makes sense with emails for those reasons. And do we need anything else? Not really. I thought there is like an email template creator or something like that. But in any case, the point is that this worked. What other users are actually me here? I hope this guy met was within the quota. So this will never get, will never be verified. Delete this user. And we have this email and password person. Oh, I'll have to do it a harder way. What was the problem? So the problem was that instead of my zonifytech@gmail.com email address, I thought it was just Zonify, kind of like the channel name. But to remove this user now, there is a key constraint somewhere. So in my users table, which is about some publicly available information for users, one of them is the playwright user, but which one? Clearly we've done like the important stuff, so now I'm indulging myself into cleaning up things. So find this person. This person will never be a real user. This Zonify will never be a real boy. I don't know, anybody playing Lies of P or Lies of Pi? Lies of Pinocchio, the Dark Souls-like Pinocchio themed game. Right, so now that we deleted this user from the users table, from the public users table, we should be able to delete them from this private auth table. So that's good. All our users are real users. Why am I doing all of this? Because I want to see account creation. So let's do it again. Let's log out. Let's confirm whether creating a new account works. So let's do that user already exists. So let's add a plus with password. And then I'm gonna intentionally put in a password that I'll never be able to remember. And I'm gonna click sign up. And it's gonna say check your email, which I am going to do. And we got another email from that account. It's a new user, but I go to the same inbox thanks to that trick, that plus trick. So everything after the plus kind of gets ignored. It's a way where you can also kind of detect spam. So if you are trying to sign up for a dodgy service, you can do plus dodgy service name. So if you end up in a weird mailing list, then you know that, oh, it was this dodgy service that sold my emails. In any case, email and password works, but I'll never remember that password again. I can barely remember that email address. What did I actually call it? Plus with password. So I don't know what the password is. So if I try to log in with email and password, I'm going to get invalid credentials. And now there is no no way to solve this. That person will be stuck forever. Can they log in with Magic Link now? Yes, they can. Seems like that worked. So that's kinda interesting. If you are logged out of your account and you don't remember your password, you can still log in with Magic Link. So maybe we should tell that to the users, that you can always log in with a Magic Link. But what people usually want to do at that point is to reset their password. So problem number one is, let's expose this. Let's tell the users you can still log in with Magic Link if you want. Or you can reset your password. So that's what we're gonna do. We've done the Resend setup. We integrated the Resend with Supabase. The custom domain validation, because it turned out it was quite important. And let's do the forgotten password reset flow. So now copy this. I tried to log in here. It will never work because I don't even know what the password is. And at some point we do say invalid credentials, yes. We return with this message. All of this code is open source and free. You can find where we are right now in the login.page for Svelte and look at all these crazy forms we have. And there should be a form with the action be like email. This is the one where the error becomes the error message. And I'm thinking that here I want to say you can still log in with email and password, or you can still log in with a Magic Link, or you can reset your password. But how would we expose that? Because it's just the home state error. Like here. So if I put in a PHP password now and try to log in, I do get kinda what I want, but I want this to be highlighted, to be an anchor, where if you click it, you do actually try to log in with a Magic Link and then you're solved. Or reset your password, that's another anchor that gets you to the flow to reset your password. How do you do that? I don't want to send UI from here. Another if here. If Let's try this again. Let me try massive click. What was I saying before? And elect it. Now I'm thinking there is a huge button for logging in with a magic link, and maybe that's all you want in life. So no need to have like a crazy edge case there. Or so now I can do the same thing again. And that looks kinda nice, like it's a lot of text. The question is, do we immediately send the password reset email or not? Supabase docs. Guess we just reset the email. And then they have a dedicated page for updating your password. All right, so we can add the update password functionality in the profile page and then kind of work our way from that. Or maybe not. Did we create something in the previous stream about this? Yeah, we have a change password page. Actually implement this, we were saying, sure. I crack myself up sometimes. So this should get me to the auth change password eventually. Not now. But we will make it happen now as we work things through. So this page, they should be able to come in already logged in, so they would be able to update your password. But you shouldn't be able to reach this page if you're not logged in, interestingly enough. We'll take care of that momentarily. First, what do we want to have here? Guess we want to copy some UI. Password. We want this input. Instructions on having a good password. Maybe we can make it a bit bigger as well. Too big? Too small? That's a mess. Alright, and the form is gonna look like this form, I guess. But it is gonna be the default action for this page, which I think it means that we don't need to say anything for action. Let's double check. So yeah, it will magically do the default action. Bring in enhance. And after all this, your password will be updated. I think we're good. We will probably need to copy our form state logic, our form state machine. Of course, we want this to be TypeScript. We are implementing this. And when we submit this form, which will go to the default action, we'll go to submitting the confirmation email. That's not a real thing. The failure, we can say there was a problem changing your password. Else, I guess we're done. And we can still have a spinner. This would be easier to import. It's not. Because it's an SVC, sadly. That's why it doesn't know. So if the form state starts as submitted, you can see this. And guess we want to align self center. Good. And maybe this needs a bit of padding, this input. Maybe not. Do we need like a big button? Let's add it. What did we call the button? Oh, we don't need this anymore. This value. Great. But we'll reuse this. Rename the button. What's a good emoji for update? Hey Joao in the chat. Yeah, I'll make the design better for sure. When you bring in the button, then it will all come together. So what's a cool emoji? Maybe you can help me. What's a cool emoji to use here for like update? Like recycle, trash. Doesn't look too bad. Oh, nice wave. The chat. So yeah, I guess it's the input that needs the margin. Maybe not. A bit better. Maybe since we have the form up 4, maybe these paragraphs can be part of the form, and then we automatically get some padding. Yeah, that looks better. So this whole form is a flex grid, flex direction column grid. So now that the instructory paragraph is in it, it gets the padding by default. Maybe we can even put a heading in there. Maybe not. All right. So this got free padding as well. If we switch to idle, this gets the form validation, the vanilla browser validation, so it will stop me from submitting a not good enough, not long enough password, which is cool. But now we need to take care of the action, what happens when we submit this form. And for that, we need a plus page.server.ts. We can copy this one, I suppose. The meta information is the change password. I need to make a keyboard key in my keyboard, do the apostrophe character, like dedicated apostrophe character, like this exact character. On this page, you'll get to update it. Great. And we also get for free the session management. If the user is already logged in, return to the profile page is what we're doing in the login page, but we want the opposite. So if the user is not logged in, because in theory, they only get to this page if they've been to the login page and ask for the password reset. If they click the email there, if they click the link in the password reset email, they should get to this page already logged in, or else something has gone horribly wrong. So if there is no user session, it only reads this place. So this is for my benefit too, but also for the benefit of anybody that is taking inspiration from my repositories. The important thing is that we'll be exposing a default action here. We'll get the form data. We'll get the password because we know their email. And I suppose we'll be able to get the user. Or maybe we just have it from RLS. I think the Supabase client should be authorized just for them. So what do we want to call here? We want to update user like this. Click the copy button, should make it easier. If there is no password, how does that even happen? Like those little lean jokes that only I know. There should be no way to get this error. But now we want the update user method. And we want to update their password to be the new password from the parameters. I guess you could be updating some metadata as well, like how many times did they update their password? Like a forgetful count. Keep increasing it. Let's return this. If there is any error, let's return this. Or else redirect to the profile page. There is no sign up action, there is no magic action, there is no provider action. This page only has a default action about resetting your password. So this should be good to go. Our only problem is that we get to this page by clicking here, which is not reality. Ooh, something went wrong. Of course we cannot. I'm clicking and I'm not going there because I'm not logged in. Great, that's the intended way to do it. Because in reality, in the login page, this is not going to be an anchor to get me to that page. It's going to be something that sends an email. This page has so much logic, I will need to extract it at some point. But the idea is going to be that this is another form which has your email and then triggers the process to update your password. interesting. I guess that may be kind of fine. Because we can say here that check your email for a password reset email or whatever. That should be fine. So we can do the same thing as the magic link action. So we can copy all of this. Maybe up to here. The action, we're going to create a new one. It's going to be the reset. And it's going to be submitting. Confirmation email is going to be the current email, I guess. Guess this should change nothing, to be honest. And if it's a failure, then we say there was a problem sending a password reset email to there. It's a success, we just get done. And we tell the user, check your email there and follow the instructions. The only thing that this form needs is another hidden input for the email. So let's add that. And I guess this anchor is actually going to be the submit button. Let's see how it's going to look. All right, cool. We need to decorate this. The thing is that you don't want to make resetting your password too convenient. So if we click this, the theory is that we get an email. What we actually get is an internal error, because of course we haven't created that action. So we have one more action to create. We need to create the reset action, of course, which should be similar to the magic link action, I guess, to this one. So let's copy that one. Copy. Let's put it at the end. The reset action is this. Get the email. If it's not an email, there is no email input, something went wrong. And now what we want to call is the reset email, whatever it's called. Reset password for email. Great. Email seems to be the first parameter, and then you send a redirect to. The redirect to, is that correct? Did GitHub Copilot make it happen? I think there is another place in this page where we actually do this, so maybe it knows. So URL dot, yeah. So email redirect to for the GitHub provider authentication, we use that. But now we're not actually gonna get there. And we want to go to, what did we call it? The auth change password page. So get us there and use that redirect to. You can keep it in the same line if you want. Doesn't want to, it's fine. And if there is an error, then we can just say server, I suppose. Maybe we can check what happens. We can check what happens in this error. Maybe if it's like a 400, maybe if there is no user with that email, maybe it fails in a different way, but we can check it out as well. And joining this also reminds me that I want to try this out. Like I have GitHub Copilot chat in I think a beta preview, which does say powered by AI, so surprises and mistakes are possible, but that's the case with me and I'm not powered by AI. So what if I ask, how do I integrate link login to my SvelteKit Supabase app? GitHub Copilot will think, and what will it say? If it says you've already done it, Johnny, then I'm going to be amazed. Looking at this repo, everything works smoothly. Well, what are you talking about? You've done it. Is it a trick question? It's replying. Oof, now it's cooking. So it does say use npm to bring in the Supabase. Say yes. It says create your Supabase client somewhere in your source lib, which is like a SvelteKit, a good practice. And it does tell you to redirect to an auth callback page, which is something you need to do when you do server-side authentication, not necessarily what we'll be doing. Pretty cool. But yeah, it seems it's hard to say whether it has like general SvelteKit knowledge or specific knowledge of my repo. But you're right, I think it doesn't really look into what my code is like, because in SvelteKit docs, they do love doing async function, like functions that are actually declared as functions, while I love doing functions that are actually declared as Fataro methods, like this one. So if it was looking in my repo, it'd be seen a different way to do the load methods and TypeScript and all that. While GitHub Copilot had a more generic approach. Interesting. In any case, this may be serious. That this may be something that we'll need to think about more, because you don't really want to expose who is logged into your app and who isn't. So if you have like a different error message when a user with that email exists versus when a user with that email does not exist, then you're leaking information. So a lot of sites that say, if there was an email, if there was a user with that email, then it should be there. Check your email. But we'll see if it will obfuscate that information. The cool thing we want to try out now is, once again, try to log in. I cannot do it. Reset my password. Now it talks to the action we just created. And then we get the please check your email. Great. This works as it would have with a magic login or creating the new email. And then we already have the email open somewhere. But we will have a problem, because I think this will link me to the main domain. Yeah, I haven't allowed listed localhost for now. So this will not quite work. If you're claiming you want to redirect to a domain that is not allowed listed in Supabase, then you get directed to your main website URL, which is a cool way to do it. I understand why they did like that. That should be the way to go. So URL configuration, if wherever I'm saying you redirect to is not covered by the redirect URLs, they end up here. So just for now, and we can add localhost and with a wildcard star. So just while we're doing the stream, and try again. So once again, title again, it's wrong, reset my password. Eventually, an email should reach me. And maybe it's still on this. It's still on the main domain, Production-ize.com. Interestingly enough. Wonder why. And it goes on not confirm. And it goes on not confirm. But why? Because this should be a confirmed account. So why does it go to auth confirm? Let's look at our email templates in Supabase. So the reset password one. Oh, it's hard coded to go to auth confirm. It makes no sense. Or does it make sense? I'm not sure. Do we have a not confirm URL? I think we do. So yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at. But we have all of the instructions with Supabase in our previous episode with the PKC backend flow. And that's the point where Supabase seems to have a problem where sometimes it will redirect me correctly. So if I ask it to do things on my main domain, it will do it just fine. But if it asks me to do things with one of my subdomains, like with the Vercel deployed previews, then it doesn't quite work. So I'm not sure if it's because I didn't follow the instructions or if there is a Supabase bug. But usually it's because I didn't follow the instructions, let's be honest. So eventually we get there. But is it using the correct one? Let's double check this. So according to that template, it shouldn't be getting to, or should it? Gets me to auth confirm. Ah, right. And then it says that the next one is the /auth/change password, which is what I told them, which is fair enough. But why is it like johnify.com auth confirm and not the current URL? Like, can you only do it for the live site? Maybe, because it does say site URL. I think that's the only one you can set, unfortunately. Let's double check what they say. PKC flow. We may create this in the next episode. This command palette search. Not with remix. I think this is the good stuff. All right, so there is a password template. It does indeed say use the site URL here. However, we have seen that the site URL or the other emails, like the magic link, could have been localhost. What else do we have available here? The site URL, the confirmation URL. Why are we not using that? I guess that's when we don't use the PKC flow, when we do a front-end flow, then that's gonna work. Interesting. So if I do a magic link login, let's double check this. Get a magic link, and it also gets me to johnnyfine.com, not the localhost one. Was I dreaming? I swear that I logged in with magic link. I guess I didn't do it on localhost. That's the problem. When you work with localhost, are you supposed to only do it with the local server, where you can't really do auth other than email and password? Maybe. It feels like this part is the key. And instead of site URL, it could be like, this should be derived based on my redirect URL, the redirect URL that I'm sending. If I'm saying redirect to this, then it should figure out that the origin of that link is a different site and not this, because I can only set up one of these. If it's part of these, then it should be fine. And it does look like that this is correct. Like for the deploy previews, it works. Maybe that's another way to check. This we're not using. Switch has created. This we didn't need. It looks fine. So I'm thinking, let's add a new feature. And have Resend deploy this. And maybe when it's on a deployed domain, that's gonna look like this. Like something does tmagripis.versel.app. Then that's gonna be accepted. Maybe you can only do this with like secure URLs. Maybe there is a setting somewhere where you can't do that stuff without HTTPS, because that'd be fair. Maybe unnecessary, but definitely fair. So we got a deployment that is a domain that has that format, that's tmagripis.versel.app, which is too many tabs. Let's close everything. Which is this format. So if we go there and we try to log in and we say, let's log in as this guy, and try to put in an email, but reset my password. It asked me to remember my password, which is interesting. I guess because I had a password filled in. That's maybe not what you want to do, not ideal. Because if there's one thing we know about the password is that it's wrong. And I did get a password reset link, which is in Zonify.com again, so not the one I was hoping it'd be. This means that probably in production it is gonna work, but what can I say? It doesn't give me like too much confidence. Yeah, I submitted a form and it thinks that this password was valid. But that's a different story. So this may work in production. What can we do? This can be used one time. Let's start on our way through this. Maybe I'll do it here. I want to copy the link address, but I don't want to go there. That token is not used. So if I change https zonify.com and just go here, it should just work. So let's go there and hope for the best. Okay. Something went wrong while in your credentials. But who knows what? So we ended up in this page and we ended up with this error. We had a token hash and it tried to verify this one-time password, but it couldn't. And we ended up here. And I didn't console log the error. What a guy. Now, this could be anything. Maybe like Chrome is a bit too cheeky with this and eagerly tries to open this in the background to appear faster. So, which kind of makes the token expire, but I don't think that's what's happening. But let's try it again. So let's try it once more. We ask for a password reset email. We should be getting it here. We are told to check our inbox. We do indeed get it. And we get this link, which gets us to zonify.com. Now, both production and the staging Vercel deploy previews and my local host is pointing to the same Supabase database. So the one production database that I have, I'm not talking to localhost. So my thinking is that if this token is valid for zonify.com, it will be valid for localhost as well. But who knows? So let's try it a different way. Let's say localhost 5137. For some reason this Chrome is getting a bit crazy and it's not allowing me to click the bar to update things. What's the actual port? Yeah, so email link is invalid or has expired. That's it. And we can't really know. Like if I actually click it here. Oh, interesting. Because the code for the confirm plates is deployed. So we can try it again. I need to close this window because there must be some memory leak happening there. So let's try it again. I have to close it again. But yeah, let's try from the deployed Vercel domain. Let's mix everything up just for the fun of it. A password that I don't know what it is. It's wrong. I reset my password. Lead to an email. I am gonna click this, and that backend method should be correct, but so it should go through it without an error, without the invalid credentials error. But then, all right, so it should get us to the page that we've updated. So it looks like it's gonna work. It looks like we are resetting our password and we are logged in, as we can see here. So that's nice. We're logged in as the user that we meant to, but it only works with the deployed site. If I do deploy this code, in theory, I should make it to that page that we were creating. But we can't do it. We can't prove that works. I guess I can try one more with the Vercel domain. Like try the same trick with the Vercel domain because it looks like it's gonna work. Reset your password. And you can see how the quota of 4 emails is very hard because this is just development and I've sent like 1 million emails already. So I'm copying the link address, and while I'm doing this, like I suspect that Chrome is doing like some craziness. It's eagerly opening some links which make the token expire. But who knows? Yeah, so this is already expired by the time I managed to copy the email address. I think that's one of my thoughts. The other one could be that the URL that is trying to validate it is different, so that's why it's failing. And it's not actually that went wrong. Oh well, it looks like it's gonna work when we merge with production, so fair enough. We can move on to the next thing that I wanted to check, which is what happens if we ask for a password reset for a user that doesn't exist. So randomusersgmail.com, I want to log in, I press this, invalid credentials, reset your password. It says please check your email, which is good. Which is good. If they incorrectly put in an email, they have another chance to see it. Like you can see it here, you can see it here. Like if it's not the email that they wanted, then it should be fine. I guess the question is, do I get a password reset email if I'm not a user? Probably on the Supabase docs, they do say this. I'm gonna remove the local host from here. So what was I saying? I was saying that I want to check whether we send an email to that person. So if we go to the recent dashboard, it looks like we did not, which is cool. Like we don't want to be spamming. We don't want to allow our site to be like an attack vector, like a way for people to spam other people by asking them for password resets every 5 minutes. Cool. So I think we're close to wrapping up. So no random user is gonna get this. But if they are signed up, some malicious party could be asking for a password reset. At this point, they must just ignore it. That's why I'm adding this section. Cool. So that's one part of all of this. What if I want to send my own nice emails that are using like React or Svelte or whatever else? There are emailing solutions nowadays for both React and Svelte, and Resend actually has created a React client. React email is actually developed by the same people here. So I did not know. At React email components. And it even has Tailwind support, so even I can do a nice email now. Which is quite cool. I've also like experimentally used the Svelte email in the past, but it's been a while since it was last updated, and definitely like meaningfully updated. So I'm not sure how much supported it is, but it works. But this one is exciting because if we manage to get Bun as a runtime for Vercel, then we should be able to create those emails and preview them in a dedicated environment, thanks to their automatic TSX, JSX support. Now it's kind of tricky to have SvelteKit render JavaScript, the React style of JavaScript, JSX and TSX, React component-based code. This JavaScript that looks like HTML. I've tried to do it with SvelteKit a few times and it's quite a nightmare. But with Bun, supposedly it just does it as a first-class support. So if we do get this running in Vercel, that'd be amazing news, and we would be able to preview our emails like this. But how do we send these emails instead of the Supabase emails? Maybe that's something to check at another point in the future. They do have an API, of course, you can download and send. What is their API? I thought they had an example of their API somewhere here. Yeah, so there is the Resend client that you can initialize with your API key or whatever, and then your HTML can be kinda like the JSX. So instead of on the backend talking to Supabase and saying reset this person's password and automatically send an email, there must be something that we can do to instead tell Supabase to hit our backend endpoint, I guess, that is going to be sending a different sort of email. Because you can definitely template things in the Supabase dashboard there, but it may be easier to do it with something like React. Because people are asking, I have used quite a lot Litmus in the past. Like if you think browser compatibility is tough, then email compatibility is insane, and there are many more people that are using obsolete email clients, and there are people using obsolete browser clients nowadays. But there are tools like Litmus that will run your email through various email clients and will tell you that, oh, like the images don't work here, or like you've used like an unsupported element because you're too much of a web person and you need to do something else. So I have used this in the past to confirm that my emails are legible. And I think it's these guys that have MJML, which is not React, it's not Svelte, it's yet another dedicated language that you have to compile. But there are ways to make it work with email, with React or something like that. Like have an integrated compile step. Have a seamless compile step. As you're using React, then you can use a React library for this and design your emails like that and preview them in the browser with confidence that the email clients is going to look kind of the same. I have used this in the past. It was alright. Like it's email, so it can get too fun. But I am excited to use the product from the recent people here, React email. That's new, that's nice. Let me know if you've used it as well. And of course, I'd love to use a Svelte solution as well, because Svelte looks like HTML by default, but I guess if you're importing like all these components, then it looks like its own thing anyway. Oh well. In any case, we won't be doing any of that in the future. Or in the near future. We have other plans. We kinda managed to do this. We talked about email templating. I'm not gonna do the user profile image send because it did take us quite a while to debug resetting our password. Even though the meat of today's stream, which was setting up Resend, was quite fast in the end. The biggest step was waiting for our domain to be validated. And yeah, that domain should be able to send 20, it does send email to any user, so that doesn't have anything to do with why it always does Johnify.com. I was just trying to think what the problem could be there. I will look into this offline. Next Tuesday, we should have an exciting stream. Yet again, you can see that we have lots of bonus features here, but I think we're gonna do a more AI focused deep dive into something more fun. Like maybe we will try to create this Supabase AI style assistant to set up some SMP. And then have something to reply with helpful links like this. We'll see. Maybe we'll do it. So let's mark that on our calendars. In the meantime, maybe I'll try to clean up a few things based on that stream. But we've moved along. This was the part 7. Like we've done 7 streams creating this app. And I guess doing the AI chatbot command palette thing would be a way to add some value to this site, so people would want to do the Stripe subscriptions and be members. But we'll see. As always, let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll take it in consideration and prepare, maybe do a fun stream for you. You never know. I love doing things that people find useful, and that's why I take your feedback. But for today, I think this is going to be it. We didn't manage to run out of emails with Resend. They do allow for like 1,000 per month in their free tier. Is it 1,000 per month? I think so. So even though we had some troubles with the reset, then we didn't quite make it to 1,000. We are alright. Let's see. And if we do get a sudden influx of people, well, you solve your problems with money. That's always a correct solution. If you're able to just pay and make the problem go away, that's it. Maybe don't say that in interviews though, because people want to hear about like horizontal scalability, not vertical scalability, because at some point even companies cannot pay more money to make things more efficient. At some point you can migrate to an even bigger server. You need to be able to migrate to like parallel servers. Anyway, with that, with those words of wisdom, I will bid you adieu. It was a lovely Friday with everyone. I hope you have amazing weekends, amazing Saturdays, Sundays, amazing lives. I'll see you on Tuesday. Goodbye.